Hello everybody and welcome to an old series that is finally back. Welcome to part 5 of What If Midoriya Was a Werewolf. As always, if you haven't seen any of the previous episodes, there will be a link in the description below to a playlist. If you enjoy the series and want to see it continue, please make sure to hit that like button and share this video, since it helps me out a lot. Now, since it's been so long since the previous part, I will recap in, a small recap. In the previous episode, the League of Villains attacked the USA facility where the students of Class 1A were doing their rescue training. All Might came to the rescue, managing to defeat the villains and get them to run away. However, Midoriya got really hurt in the attack and got sent to the nurse's office. A couple of hours after the attack, Midoriya woke up with an unknown man next to him. Using his enhanced sense of smell, he recognized the scent and asks, "All Might?" All Might in his small form says, "You must have someone else, young man." Midoriya double checks, smelling again, and says, "Nope, I'm pretty sure you're All Might. I recognize that scent anywhere." "Have you been posing as All Might this entire time? What have you done with the real All Might? Wait, you're the reason why the USA got attacked, weren't you?" All Might says, You got it all wrong, young Midoriya. I'm the real All Might." All Might pulls down the cover showing his injury and says, "See this injury? I sustained it about 6 years ago, and ever since it has limited my time as a hero. It has given me a time limit." Midoriya asks, 6 years ago? Does that mean it was the battle against Poison Chainsaw? All Might says, "As expected, you really know your stuff, but no, this fight I had a friend keep under wraps." Midoriya looking at All Might with a determined look, wanting to take notes, and with his tail wagging frantically. His look changes for a moment to a skeptical one, and Midoriya asks, "Wait, how does your injury change your form?" All Might says, "Well, you don't really know how my quirk actually works, do you?" Midoriya with his tail wagging says, "No, I don't. Please tell me." All Might says, "You know how people hold their breath in the pool to look buff? Well, my quirk kind of works like that. I hold my power in me, making me bigger and stronger for a period of time, but since this injury I can't hold my power in for very long." For the next few minutes the two talk until Recovery Girl returns and Midoriya is allowed to go home. Because of what just happened, the students are given a day off so they can recover from the incident and the teachers can discuss what to do next. Midoriya spends this time relaxing, healing, and training a little bit. Nothing too stressful, just lifting some weights. That day quickly passes and Midoriya returns to school. In the 1A classroom, Toru asks, "You guys, did you watch the news last night?" Ojiro says, "Yeah." Toru says, "It was so cool that we got a few seconds of screen time, though I bet no one noticed me hanging out in the background." Ojiro says, "Yeah, it's hard to stick out when you're just a pair of gloves." Kaminari says, "We are totally big deals. Those news channels love us. We're practically celebrities." Jiro says, "Don't kid yourself. They only care that the UA Hero Course was attacked." Conversation goes on for a bit until Ida runs up to the podium and says, "Attention! Homeroom class is about to begin. Please take your seats." Hiroshima says, "We're all sitting." And Zero adds, "Yeah, you're the only one who's standing." Ida walks to his seat a bit frustrated. Ashido asks, "Who do you guys think is going to teach class today since Mr. Aizawa is still recovering?" And Tsuyu says, "I don't know." "Good morning." Tsuyu asks, "Are you okay, Mr. Aizawa? Shouldn't you be recovering?" Aizawa takes the stand and says, "My health is irrelevant. What's important is that your fight isn't over yet." The class freaks out a bit at this statement, and Aizawa continues, "The UA Sports Festival is about to start." That comment quickly changes the class's mood as everyone starts getting super excited, but Jiro does voice her concerns. Is it really smart to hold a festival of this size after the school got attacked? Aizawa addresses her concerns and says apparently the administration thinks this is a good way to show that the threat has been handled, and our school is safer than ever. Plus, they are beefing up security compared to past years. This event is a huge opportunity for all students of UA. It's not something we can cancel because of a few villains. Our sports festival is one of the most watched events in the entire world. In the past, you'll watch events in the entire world. In the past, the Olympics held that spot, but when Quirk started appearing, the Olympics decided to add Quirk restrictions. This led the Olympics to be decreased in scale and viewership. For whoever cares about competition, the UA Sports Festival is the way to go. It's your chance to get scouted by top heroes, since they will be watching and evaluating your performances. That's why this matters. If you want to go pro one day, this event could open a path for you. 1 chance a year and 3 chances in a lifetime. Aspiring heroes cannot afford to miss this festival. That means you better not slack off on your training. And the whole class says, "Yes, sir!" A couple hours later, the bell rings and lunchtime begins. Midoriya, being very excited and his tail swinging, says, "This is going to be nuts, I'm so excited!" Uraka says, Midoriya, let's do our best in the sports festival." And she gives up a weird look. Midoriya asks, "Uraka, what's wrong with your face?" Mina looks at Uraka and adds, "Seriously, what's up? You're usually the most laid-back girl ever." Uraka raises her fist and says, "Everyone, I'm gonna do my best." Some classmates say, Yeah. She then turns to others and repeats herself, "I said I'm gonna do my best." Kirishima, in a confused tone, says, "Got it. You okay? You kind of look like you're losing it." Later, the students go to the mess hall, and on the way, Midoriya asks, "Hey, Uraka." She answers, "What's up?" Midoriya asks, "Why did you decide to come to UA? What made you want to be a pro here in the first place?" Uraka says, "Well, because of the money." Midoriya asks, "Seriously, the money? You want to be a hero so you can get rich?" Uraka says, "If we're cutting to the chase, then yeah. I'm sorry, it sounds greedy to have such admirable motivations. I hope you don't think less of me now." Ida says, "Not at all. Your goal is to support your well-being, which is perfectly admirable ambition to have." Midori says, "Yeah, it's just kind of surprising." Uraka says, "Well, you see, my family owns a construction company, but we haven't gotten any work lately, so we're flat broke. This isn't something I usually tell other people, but..." Ida thinks for a moment and says, "Construction, eh?" Midoriya says, "If she got licensed, I bet she could use her quirk to bring costs down a lot." Ida adds, "And they could sell their heavy lifting equipment. She can float everything." Uraka gets excited and says, "I know, right? I've been telling Dad that since I was a kid. But he said no." She thinks for a moment about her past and says, "I'll become a pro. I'll sign off with a good agency and make plenty of money so my parents can live comfortably." The day continues, and after the school day ends, the students get ready to get home. But in front of their class is a wall of students from other courses. Uraraka asks, "Why the heck are you all here?" Ida asks, Do you students have some sort of business with our class?" Bakugo starts walking out of the class, ignoring the other people. As he walks, he says, "They are scouting out the competition, idiots. We're the class that survived a real villain attack. They wanted to see us with their own eyes." He turns to the crowd and says, "At least now you know what a future pro looks like. Now move it, extras." Ida shouts, "You can't go around calling people extras just because you don't know them." Shinso steps up to the class, not impressed by the students, and says, "So this is class 1A. I heard you guys were impressive, but you're just an ass. Is everyone in the hero course delusional, or just you? How sad to come here and find a bunch of egomaniacs. I wanted to be in the hero course, but like many others here, I was forced to choose a different track, such as life. I didn't cut it the first time around, but I have another chance. If any of us do well in the sports festival, the teachers can decide to transfer us to the hero course, and they'll have to transfer people out to make room. Maybe my classmates are scouting the competition, but I'm here to let you know that if you don't do your best, I'll steal your spot right from under you. Consider this a declaration of war." After that statement, Tetsu walks towards class 1A and shouts, "Hey you, I'm from class 1B next door to you. We heard you fought some villains, and I came to see if that was true. But you're just a bunch of brats who think they're better than us." The students of class 1A, after hearing this, think, "Crap, now they all hate us." Tetsu says, talk all you want, I'll just be more embarrassing when you get KO'd. Bakugo walks away, angering Tetsu. Kirishima runs after Bakugo, trying to get him to apologize. Bakugo says, they don't matter. The only thing important is that I beat them, and he leaves. The next 2 weeks quickly pass with the students training for the sports festival. Midoriya spends this time training and honing his skills and abilities a bit more. The day of the sports festival arrives and Midoriya prepares to leave for school. Inko says, Izuku, please be careful and don't get hurt. Midoriya says, I'll be fine, Mom, as he gets ready. Inko continues, I'll record the whole festival in HD, so good luck and do your best. Midoriya says, I'll try. He then leaves for school. Later in class 1A waiting room, Mina says, aw man, I was hoping I could wear my costume. Ojiro says, well, at least everyone will be wearing uniforms. Keeps it fair. Says, I wonder what they will have in store for us in the first round. Tokuyama says, it's hard to believe they'll be having us do anything too difficult. Ida comes into the room and says, okay everyone, we're entering the arena in a couple of minutes. Todoroki walks up to Bakugo and says, Bakugo, you are very powerful, but I do want you to know this. I will beat you. Bakugo looks at Todoroki and says, whatever, Icy Hot. You won't be beating me anytime soon. After that interaction, the students go out into the arena. President Mike starts announcing everyone as all the classes are called into the stadium. Once all the students are there, Midnight says, now the introductory speech. For the student pledge, we have Katsuki Bakugo. Bakugo takes the mic and says, I just want to say, I'm gonna win, making everyone scream out in outrage. Midnight says, well then, let's get started. The first game is what you'd call a qualifier. This is where you begin feeling the pain. The first fateful game of the festival. She points at the monitor as it starts going through a bunch of options until it lands on 4-kilometer race. The students get ready for the race. The counter starts counting down. In the commentary booth, President Mike asks Aizawa, what should we be looking for in the early stages of the race? And Aizawa just says, the door. The race starts and Midoriya runs forward, being caught in the group of people who want out the door. A wave of ice comes along, freezing everyone in place, but Midoriya, seeing it coming, uses his opponents in order to jump out of the way. Midoriya struggles to get out the door, whereas other students like Bakugo, Yaoyorozu, Kirishima, and Mineta leap forward, evading the amount of people. After a couple of moments, he gets past the crowded doorway and, wanting to catch up to the other students, starts running on all fours, wanting to go faster. He gets past the robots fairly easily, evading them and jumping a 0-point robot that Todoroki took down. He continues as fast as he can only until he reaches the second obstacle. Even there, he doesn't stop and keeps on going. He only stops when he reaches the minefield, hesitating for a moment, thinking of how he should proceed, until he hears the first contestant to reach the finish line are Shoto Todoroki at first and Katsuki Bakugo at second. That makes Midoriya snap out of it. He starts up again, going around, slowly evading the mines and getting to the finish line. He made it in the 13th spot. After everyone finishes the obstacle race, they are given a couple of minutes to recover and rest. The first 42 students to cross the finish line then gather, and Midnight says, 42 of you qualified to move on. Now guard your loins and prepare for the next test. The screens start going through a bunch of options, ending with cavalry battle. As Midnight says, a cavalry battle. Those of you at the top will suffer the most. Of course, that's something you will hear over and over again at UA. Show us what Plus Ultra means. Midnight points at Todoroki and says, Shoto Todoroki placed first in the qualifying round. He'll be worth 10 million points. First years. These are the rules that you'll abide by. The game itself will last 15 minutes. Individual point values will be added together to reach your team totals. Everyone will know how much you're worth thanks to your headbands. Swipe as many headbands as you can to tally your team's score. Stolen headbands must be worn from the neck up, so the more you steal, the harder they'll be to manage. And another thing, even if your team headband gets stolen or your team falls down, you can keep playing until time is up. After that, Midoriya starts gathering his teams, getting Uraka, Ida, and Tokoyami on his team, whereas Todoroki consists of Hatsume, Yaoyorozu, and Kaminari All the other teams are basically the same. After time is up, the match begins for the second round. And in this version, Midoriya's team spends the time being pretty intelligent. They play it defensively while using Dark Shadow to steal the other team's headbands. After the 10 minutes that the match lasts are over, Midoriya's team is revealed to have ended up third, with Todoroki's team first, Bakugo's second, and Shinso's fourth. After the events, the students get some time to go off to lunch, after which some recreational games are held for those who didn't make it to the finals. The final matches are announced as a 1v1 tournament. Midnight says come closer and draw lots to see who you'll be up against. Two members of Shinso's team decide to abdicate, however, which means that Tetsu and Ibara Shiozaki are bumped up and allowed to participate in the finals. After that, the Rick's Quirk. President Mike says, "Alright audience, let's cut to the good stuff and not delay this finals any longer. Welcome our first fighters, Izuku Midoriya from the Hero Course versus Hitoshi Shinso from General Studies, who really hasn't stood out yet. The rules are simple. Immobilize your opponent or force them out of the ring. You can also win by getting the other person to cry uncle." Shinso says, "So you can just give up, huh? In a way, this is a test of how strong your spirit is. If you know what you want your future to hold for you, you can't worry about what other people think." President Mike screams, "Ready?" Shinso continues speaking. That monkey was going on about his pride. President Mike says, "Begin!" And Shinso keeps going. But I just think he's an idiot for throwing away his chance like that. Midoriya gets mad at that statement and charges at Shinso, saying, "Don't you talk about him that way?" Up as Shinso smiles. And Shinso says, "That's it. I win." Aizawa in the booth starts explaining who Shinso is and about what his quirk does. In the ring, Shinso says, "You're lucky to have been so blessed, Izuku Midoriya. Now turn around and walk out of bounds like a good little hero." Shinso gives a speech as Midoriya walks out of bounds, and Midoriya is eliminated, whereas Shinso passes to the next round. The next match is Todoroki against Zero, which ends up the same way as in continuity, with Todoroki passing to the next round. Then it's Ibara against Kaminari, which ends with Ibara winning. Then it's Ida against Hatsume, which after Hatsume uses Ida as a living advertisement, she leaves the ring, letting Ida pass to the next round. Then it's Ashido against Aoyama, which ends with Ashido winning, burning his harness. Then Tokoyami against Yaoyorozu, which ends with Tokoyami winning. Then Tokoyami against Yaoyorozu, which ends with Tokoyami winning, throwing Yaoyorozu out of bounds. Next, Tetsu against Kirishima, which ends with a draw, later being resolved by an arm wrestle match, which Kirishima wins. The next match is Bakugo against Uraka, which Bakugo wins. Then the second round begins with Shinso against Todoroki. Todoroki wins this one very quickly by freezing Shinso in place. The rest of the matches end pretty much the same, with Bakugo winning the whole festival overall because Todoroki wasn't willing to use his fire. Anyway guys, I hope you all enjoyed. As always, please leave a like and share the video if you did. If you want more of this series to continue, also let me know down in the comments below. If you have any suggestions for anything, please leave them in the comments below or in my Discord, which you can find in the description. There is a I share stuff with you guys there and chat about other stuff. I also ask you guys feedback for ideas. So today, I hope you all enjoyed, and until next time everyone, bye!